Hello everybody, in this episode we're going to tackle that roll bar again, and we do a little more work on the parcel shelf, and probably do a little bit of lead work too. And yeah, so let's see if we can get to all of that. And here are the parcel shelf panels test fitted in their locations. So they're just held in with magnets right now, but you get the idea how that's going to look. Now the crazy thing is the parcel shelf is going to be totally hidden by some kind of a interior panel. So it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. The idea of having this beautiful car with that horrible panel underneath there with those holes cut into it randomly and everything, it just didn't appeal to me at all. So, whatever. I really dig this, and I love that it's going to be there. So now the thing is, I want to fit a roll cage in the car, and the roll cage is going to have to come through one of these holes. No, probably not that one. Probably this one. Probably. Anyways, so after some going online and let me just get this car straightened out here. After going online and asking some questions to people who have some more knowledge in this area with these cars than I do, I've decided not to go with the 10-point, which had a hoop up here and then these bars that come down here. Because apparently when you have those bars in with the ergonomics of the car, it's really not practical, and you'd have to you'd want to be wearing a helmet anytime you're cruising around in the car, because those bars would be awfully close to your head and everything. So I've decided to go against that. I did look at a lot of cars online, a lot of Pro Touring and Resto Mod first gen Camaros, and you know, they look just fine with the hoop and the bars going back. I may add bars going from here sort of down like this, something like that, and then down. I will have a full frame in here. There's going to be when I put the Speedway Motors suspension in front and back, there is a complete front and rear subframe. So I'll be tying all that into the car too. I'm going to weld that in. I'll tie that all in. We're going to make that as strong as possible. But anyways, okay, I'm going to get to work here. All right, so before I can weld these tubes into the car, like the roll cage tubes and the parcel tray, before I weld that all in, I have to get these bent in the right direction. Now, these tubes here from this kit that I bought are actually meant for the door bars. They're supposed to go, you know, forward like this, kind of deal. But I am not going to do that. So I'm going to repurpose these tubes for the ones that go down in the back. Now my plan is, let's see, how do I explain this? Okay, I need to move my camera here. Okay, so my plan is to go from here down into the trunk area, and I would like the tubes to sort of follow the profile of the hood, of the roof, and then go down like that through the parcel tray and into the trunk. But to do that, I need to bend these tubes and do some notching, because the notches they have on here are not, I don't know if you can see that. You see how that's, it's meant to go in a tube up at this angle, not straight like that. So first thing I need to do is notch that correctly, and then go from there and figure out how we're going to do this in the trunk. So follow along. Well, I really only have one shot at this because I've only got 2 of these tubes and I need 1 per side. So fingers crossed that I have measured to the right place, and I'm going to bend it to the right amount. That's well, it's close. I gotta go a little bit sharper with the angle, and I think it's gonna work out. All right, so here's one side that's bent. So that plate there, I'll be boxing that plate in. That's not gonna just be like that. I'll box in both ends. But anyways, it goes up. That one goes there, and you can see it goes through that hole. It actually will be centered in the hole, but right now it's just sort of resting there. You can see. Yeah. Anyways, and then it'll go down to this plate in the trunk, which will also be boxed in. I will put a little, I'll put an end piece there and down, and it'll all be boxed in nicely, but you get the idea. And that shouldn't interfere too much with sight lines out the back of the car. And yeah, I think that's gonna be really good. Now I just have to recreate that on the other side of the car. That's gonna be the tricky part. Making two that are exactly the same. And then TIG welding up here. TIG welding up there, it's gonna be a little tricky, but what my plan is to remove that plate and actually cut a hole in the front, in this box section right here, so that whole thing can drop down a little bit, and then I can get at it up there and I can weld it up, and then that plate will cover the hole. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's the plan. Okay, now that I have most of the cage welded in on these top tubes, as you saw in the video just before this, now I can remove these plates, and you can see that I've got these holes. I got one on the other side too, and I'll drop it down into these holes, and then I'll be able to get at the top and weld that up, and then I'll be able to lift it back up, put the plates back in place, and weld her up. So that'll be the next step. I'm not showing you the parcel shelf yet. It looks really good though. You'll see it when it's done. It took a long time, but I got those where the roll cage will weld down to, those plates. I have them all boxed in, both sides. You can see, boxed in, and it's also boxed in on the back side. And I have these back ones also boxed in there and there. So now I got to put the car up on my quick jack, because I don't want to weld the cage in with the car on the rotisserie, because it does put a little bit of a, you know, a bend in the car. So I'm going to put it up on the quick jack, and then I can weld the roll cage in place. Hey peeps, I think that's it for this video. It's not completely welded in yet, because I had the wrong gas lens for my welder to get in some tight spots, but it is entirely tack welded in front and rear, and it's perfect. And I'm gonna turn the camera around now, and I'm gonna show you what it all looks like. Okay, so there we have it. It's just tack welded right now. My gas lens that I have is for stainless steel, so it's really big. I need a smaller one to get in here in these tight spots. But anyways, let me show you how it goes through the parcel shelf. What do you guys think of that? Look how nice that goes through that hole on both sides. Whoa, can't believe I actually pulled that off. It was all just a big old dream that I could do that, but it worked out really good. So there you can see, that's all. Yep, so as soon as I get my other lens in here, I will finish weld the cage, and I will finish weld the parcel shelf, because as you can see, that's just tack welded in too. But anyways, so that is the 67 Camaro. That's the update. We got a roll cage, not completely welded in, but you get the idea. We have a roll cage. I'm really excited, because that's pretty cool. And in case you're wondering how long it took to get to this point, the roll cage took 12 hours to get to this point. Yeah, that's a lot. But, you know, there's lots of ins and out and fitting and all that stuff, and that all takes lots of time. So, yeah, I'm 12 hours into this cage right now.